Okay, I'm just going to say everything that I said one more time since I'm streaming. That we're really going to be focusing on playing in different keys in the next few weeks. In particular, we're going to focus on playing in the keys of C, F, and G. Eventually, we'll add in the key of A, but not for today. So, any questions on that? Any lingering anythings? So the way that we're going to start as a warm-up, we're going to return back to our very first warm-up, which was, of course, Hashki Venu, which you probably have nightmares about in your sleep now. We started with it so many times. But we're going to play it in 3 different keys. We're going to play it in the key we're used to, the key of C. We're going to play it in the key of G. And we are going to play it in the key of F. These are the 3 keys we're going to try playing it in. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions or anything before we just jump into it? Let me turn on original sound so you can hear me a little better. And get this up. And let me... okay, you can't see the words. I'm not sure where I will hide myself. Nope, that's not what I wanted to drag. That's what I wanted to drag. Okay, you can't really see the words, but that's okay. We're really focusing on the chords. And just as a reminder, it's really these 4 chords in a row. C, G, A minor, F. C, G, A minor, and F. So you can just kind of look at the chord charts. Keep going. Beneath those chords, you have the C sus4, the G sus2, and the G sus4. Those are there if you want to play around with them. If that feels advanced and scary, don't play around with them. Pretend that they don't exist there. They're just there for folks who want to experiment with them. So this should be our most comfortable of all of our keys and all of our Hashki Venus because we've played in it a few dozen times. By the way, if you can't notice, I have my broken ukulele back. It got repaired with lots and lots of super glue. You can still see it there, but just love marks.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you want to move the 1-4, the chord numbers over where we changed them, or you want us to just be able to hear it?
I don't understand what you're saying, Linda. I'm sorry.
Am I creating an echo?
Oh, that's because of my original sound. Let me turn that off. Go ahead.
So it says 1564, right above, but that's all over the hash.
Oh, yeah. That's just, I just wrote them there. Yep. Let me, here. I can do it like this. I thought I had done this actually. Let's see. Did I drop it? Yeah, I did. Here it is. I can just move this over. So these are just, again, the numbers of the chords. If it helps you to think in numbers, oftentimes when you get into settings with professional musicians, they will call out numbers rather than chords. As a reminder, if it's lowercase, it tells you that it's a minor chord. If it's uppercase, it tells you it's a major chord. Okay.
Actually, what I meant was over the words, like, or are you just going to call them out?
Oh,
Like,
you know what? We're not even going to focus so much on the words today. We're really going to focus on the, yeah,
okay.
we're just going to work on
Right.
the, yeah, exactly. Here. I think I can expand this, though, and get a little bit of my head at least. There we go. Okay, so let's just go ahead and try playing this. This should be very comfortable and very familiar, and then we will start playing it in other keys as well. So, down, down, up, down, down. C. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Start on C. C. Now G. G. Now A minor. And F. C. G. A minor. And F. Again. C. Feel free to play around with them. C with the sus4 if you want. A G with the sus. A minor. And F. Hashki Venu Adonai. Elo F. Okay, how did that feel?
Good.
Good. That's what I was hoping for, something that's been our regular. So now we are going to try this in the key of G. In the key of G. So all of a sudden, our chords in G are going to be G, A, E minor, and C. So go ahead and start with that G. Get comfortable with it.
Daniel, you have a GD. You have GD up there instead of GA.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to be a D. I just called it by the name that shape would be on a guitar instead of a ukulele. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a D. It's G, D, E minor, C. That same shape is an A shape on guitar. Yep, I apologize. Nope, where'd you go? There we are. So go ahead and practice these G, and then move to that A. That A is a newer chord for us, just as a reminder. It's just on the 2nd fret. 3 fingers right in a row on the 2nd fret. 1st, 2nd, 3rd.
D.
For that D chord. Yep. I did it again, didn't I? Yep. So from the G chord to the D chord, a newer chord for us. Grandma Judy, remember to wrap that thumb around the top. It'll be a lot easier for you to play. I know. You want to play the bass. I got a bass over here if you want me to break it out for you. And then we go from there to the E minor. I think that's actually kind of a tough change, to go from the D to the E minor, because there's nothing that's staying in place. That E minor, Amy calls the stair step one. I kind of like that. I like starting with your index finger on that 2nd fret down on your bottom string, on the A string, and then just going up 1 string, 1 fret for the next 2. And then go to the C. And the easiest way to play the C here, to go from the E minor to the C, is to, we don't call it cheating anymore because of Ray. What do we, your simplification, I don't have another word. We're going to cheat. We're going to move our middle finger down, and we're just going to put it right there as the C. You can switch to your ring finger if you want, but it's more dancing around. If you just move that middle finger down 1 fret, it's right there. So practice going from that E minor to the C. E minor to the C. That E minor, like some of our other chords, is going to be easier if you bring that elbow in also. Oop. So let's practice that chord transition again. Going from the G, now to the D, to the E minor, remembering to keep our thumb around the top and bring that elbow in for the E minor, to the C. Okay, how does that feel as we're going through this? Do you feel okay-ish going from chord to chord? Yeah, Amy.
So can you count for us the 1, 4, and 5 and how you get D as 4?
Sure. In the key of, so D is not the 4, D is the 5.
Okay. That makes more sense. Okay.
Because we're going 1, 5, 6, 4 is what this progression is. 1, 5, 6, 4. 1 being the G, 5 being the D, 6 is a minor chord, is the E minor, and the 4 is the C. So 1, 5, 6, 4.
The C is the 4. It's not in the order that I would expect it to be in. Okay, I got it.
Right, so if we go back here, if we go back to the key of C, it's also 1, 5, 6, 4.
I understand.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Or if we jump to the F, we get F, C, D minor, B flat is the 1, 5, 6, 4.
So we're using the 1, the 4, and the 5, and then the 6, but it's not necessarily always in that order.
Exactly. Folk songs typically are built with the 1, 4, 5, and minor 6, but the order that you put them in can vary, and that's what creates songs.
Got it. Okay. Thanks.
No, good question. Okay, how do we feel about these chords? So let's try it. We're going to do it slowly and then we'll speed up. So start with the G. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down. We're going to do 4 sets on each. Now go to the D. Here we go. D, D, a second D, a third D, a fourth D. Now we're going to go to the E minor. Here we go. E minor. A second E minor. Remember to bring the thumb around the top and bring the elbow in. It'll help. And now we're going to go to the C, our comfortable spot. The C. 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 One more time. We're going to do 4 sets again. Here we go to the G. 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 Next is coming to the D. Think about that D. All on the 2nd fret. D. 2. Okay, start thinking about that E minor. Think about that index finger, which is going to move down. Here we go. E minor. E minor. E minor. And now we're going to go to the C. And C. Okay, we're going to do it again. This time we're only going to do 2 sets of each. 3. Here comes G. We'll do 2 sets of G and then 2 sets of D. Here we go. G. And again, G. Here comes D. Get ready for it. Up and down. G. G. Now E minor. E minor. E minor. And C. Okay, let's do that again with 2 sets. Here we go again. Now G. G. Now D. E minor, E minor, and C. Okay, pause for a moment. A request. If you can tilt your screen or your camera or whatever it is so that I can see your hands and your ukulele rather than your faces. Not that you don't all have wonderful faces, but I have a better sense of what's working and what's not if I can see you playing. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Much better this way. Okay, let's try this again. 2, 3, 4. G. And again, G. Now we're going to go to the D. Here we go. D. Up and down. Now E minor. And C. Okay, back to the G. D. Okay, I'm seeing a bit of trouble with the D. So let's pause for a second there. So the D is going to root itself with your index finger. Everything happens on the 2nd fret with a D. Everything's on that 2nd fret with a D. So put your index finger there, put your middle finger below it, and put your ring finger right below it. But right on the top string, the string closest to your chin, is where you start. There you go. Everyone looks good now. There you go. Good. Good. That's that D. Everything on that 2nd fret. Now we're going to move to the E minor. Here we go. E minor. Start with that index finger to root the E minor. Also on the 2nd fret. Right? On the bottom string, though. E minor starts on that bottom string. The index finger goes... There you go, everyone. Go to the C. Here we go. Now C. One more time from the G. Here we go. G. Now the D. That's the up and down on the 2nd fret. Here we go. D. All on the 2nd fret. E minor. And now go to the C. Okay, let's end on the G. Okay, that one's a little harder than playing in the key of C. particularly with all of those new chords and all those new transitions. So if that one was difficult, you know what to practice. Yeah, I find with these chord charts, sometimes I forget how to read them. And the easiest way to read them is to pick a chord that's on there that you already know, like the C chord, play your C chord, and then look at the chart and you can realize how it's built once you see that. We have another Amy Gage joining right now. Let's see who that is.
Rabbi Daniel?
Yeah, Linda.
Would you, with that E minor, is there something else you would play like E minor sus or, something like that?
No, I just played that E minor.
With that E minor. Okay.
And would you recommend how to start the E minor like you did with the D?
Oh, Lisa's here. Hello, hello.
How would you,
sorry, say that again.
how would you recommend starting the E minor? Because I'm having a hard time adjusting from the D to the E minor.
Yeah. The E minor is a tough adjustment. I agree. I find the E minor one of the toughest chords on the ukulele to move into. So I always, with all of these chords, like to think of there being a rooting finger, right? Like, what's the first place that you start from? And on the E minor, I think it's best to start with that index finger on the second fret, on that string all the way at the bottom, your A string. And then what you're doing is you're just stair-stepping up. Next fret, next string, next fret, next string. So that the string closest to your chin, the G string is open. There's no finger on that G string. Right? Just up one fret, one string. There you go. And then what I would do for this is I would practice moving back and forth from the D. The D, again, is one that's good to root yourself with that index finger. Take that index finger, put it on the second fret, all the way at the top string, the string closest to your chin, the G string. And then just go down a fret, down a string, 3 strings in a row, all on the second fret. The D all happens on that second fret, 3 strings in a row. And practice going from that to the E minor and just think about moving that index finger down there and then stair stepping up. So with this, that's what I would practice. I would just go back and forth until that's a comfortable move. E minor, D. E minor, D. I find that D tough on a ukulele.
I'm also having a hard time with my fingertips. Is there a way to make sure your fingers, because
Yes. So
I'm too flat.
First thing that I would check is to make sure that your nails are short on your fingers. You want the tips of your fingers to be sticking out past your nails on your left hand, for sure, or you're going to have trouble. And then just really focus in on getting it at that spot right on the tips, right? You see where the strings are indented into my fingers there? That's really what you want. You can tell that you've been doing it enough when your fingers become permanently flattened on the tips. My fingertips are flat. I don't have tips anymore in my left hand. Finger flats. Okay. So that's the key of G. We know what to practice there. And I think Hashki Venu is a great exercise for you, right? Start with playing in the key of C, then play it in the key of G, and then play it in the key of F. I think F's an easier key to play it in than G, by the way. I think these chords are a little easier other than that B flat, which is a doozy, but we're getting used to that B flat, hopefully. Okay. Just a reminder, a little bit of music terminology, that flat means slightly lowered and sharp means slightly higher, slightly raised. So a B flat is a regular B dropped down 1 fret. So this would be a B chord. And we're moving it down 1 fret to make it a B flat. We haven't actually played a B chord before. We've only played B flats. But if you wanted to take your B flat and turn it into a B chord, you just slide it up a fret. Okay, let's go over these these 4 chords for Hashki Venu in the key of F. We can tell we're in the key of F because the first chord is F. Again, that's not always going to be true, but often is going to be true. So start with your F chord, familiar chord. And then we're going to go to our C chord, should be an easy transition, also a familiar chord. Then we're going to go to our D minor chord. Here comes the tough one, B flat. So the tough part about B flat, of course, is that index finger is doing double duty. And that means that that index finger is not going to touch it with the tip, but it's going to touch it with the side of your finger. Do you see how it's not exactly centered on my finger? If you look at where the marks are, it's really tilted towards the outside, or what I'm calling the outside, the area, the part of your index finger that's closer to your thumb than to your middle finger. And to help with that angling, you want to bring that elbow in pretty good for the B flat. It'll really make a difference. Remembering to have that thumb across the top. Okay, back to the F. C. D minor. And B flat. Okay, let's try playing it, shall we? So F, down, down, up, up, down, up. We'll do 4 sets of each. 3, 4. Next comes C. Here we go. C, 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 C. Now D minor, D minor, D minor, D minor. Here comes the B flat. Get ready for it. Now B flat, B flat. 2, 3, 4. Back to F. Here we go. F. We're just going to 2 sets now. F. Here comes C now. C. Next is D minor. Here we go. D minor. D minor. Keep going. D minor. I'm just letting Patty in. Now B flat. B flat. B flat. We're going to do 2 sets again. Here we go. F. F. Now C. 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 Now D minor. D minor. D minor. B flat. Bring that elbow in. B flat. B flat. From the top. 1 set each. F. Now C. C. D minor. And B flat. F. Now C. C. D minor. B flat. And end on F. Okay, just a reminder to everyone that if you get lost and behind, don't try to catch up. Instead, rejoin at a chord that you're comfortable with that's coming up. So if you get really caught on that B flat and you're just not making it there, abandon it and get ready to join us again when we come back around to the F. That's always the best way to do this. Okay, just from watching your hands, my take is that C is our easiest key. F is probably our next easiest, other than that B flat chord. And G is still providing us a little bit of troubles. Is that a fair assessment of what's happening here? Which is the way that it should be, because that's the order that we're most familiar and most comfortable and have played the most in. Okay, any thoughts or questions or comments before we play some songs together? Okay, let's play some songs. So we're going to start with Over the Rainbow. One of the first songs that we played, but I think we are a lot more prepared for it these days. Let me just get it to a size that is comfortable. And let me move myself out of the way. How's that size? Is that readable for us? And actually, I'm going to drop the link to this in the chat so that if it's easier for you to pull it up on your computer locally and look at it than it is to scroll through it, feel free to do that.
Daniel, you did put in the D minor 7 as a joke, I trust.
We will not be playing that D minor 7. Though actually it's not going to be a hard one for us. It looks hard, but it's not. Go ahead and play your D minor for a second, right? And then take your pinky and put it on that A string, the string closest to your toes, on the 3rd fret, right where it wants to go, right on that 3rd fret. Right, much easier than it looks on that chord chart because we already know the D minor, and dropping in that pinky, it really goes right where you want it to go as long as you remember that string. But as a general rule, whenever you see specialty chords like a 7th chord, if you don't know the 7th chord but you know the standard chord, so you know a D minor but you don't know the D minor 7, just play the D minor. It'll sound fine. Okay. So let's try playing this, shall we? Yeah, Sean says D minor 7 sounds nice too. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's a nice chord. It's a nice chord. Okay. So this is the Brother Is version of this. If you haven't heard the Brother Is ukulele version of this, I strongly recommend it. Beyond it being sort of a 90s, early aughts sensation, it's a really pretty version and is maybe responsible for more people picking up the ukulele than any other song, probably. It was quite a hit. So there was a joke for a while that in the same way that you'd go into guitar stores and they would say, have a sign that says no stairway to heaven, right? You're not allowed to play that there. In fact, I think that was in Wayne's World. They had a joke about that. Similarly, in uke places, they have no rainbow because it's so overdone. But not overdone for us. We're going to lean into it instead. So let's try this together. It's in the key of C, which should be a little more comfortable for us, hopefully. So down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up. Okay, we're going to do the oohs to start. So we're going to go from that C to the E minor to the F to the C, and then the F to the E7 to the A minor and to the F. E7 might be a chord we haven't played in a while. I think it's my favorite ukulele chord. So for that E7, take your index finger, and it goes on the 1st fret of the 1st string. And then you're going to take your middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret on the 2nd string. And then that ring finger is going to go on the 2nd fret on the 4th string. I really like this chord.
We use that on. We used it on 5-foot-2 and also E.G. Sweet.
Yeah, exactly. E7's it's a nice chord. It's a nice chord. I really like how it sounds on a ukulele too. Okay, let's start on that C. Here we go. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Here we go. Ooh, E minor, E minor. Ooh, F. F and to C. Here comes F again. F. Here comes that E7. Get ready for it. E7. Don't worry if you missed it. Here comes A minor, just with your middle finger. A minor. Now F again. F. Let's play all that again, starting with the C. C. E minor's next. Here we go, the stair step one. E minor, E minor. Now to F, to F. C. Here we go, C. F is next. F. Here comes E7. Think about that index finger moving up. E7, E7. Now A minor. A minor. And then to F. Add in the index finger for F. F. Okay, let's go on. We're going to play that C. Here we go. Somewhere. E minor. Over the rainbow. F. Way up. C. Now back to the F. G, G in a lullaby, A minor, and F, F. I see some struggling with the A minors, so just remember, play an F, lift up your index finger, lift up your index finger from the F, get rid of it, and that's an A minor. That's the only difference, as a reminder. A minor, F, A minor, F. I just realized you can't see my hand, can you? Let me move that so you see my fretting hand a little better. There you go. Okay. Okay, third line. Here we go. O somewhere. C where? Here comes E minor. Over the rainbow. Now F. C, fly. Here comes F. And the C. Dreams you're made of. Here comes G. Dreams really do come A minor. And then F. F. Oh, you can't even see that F, can you? I'm blocking it with my picture. I'm sorry. To C, here we go. Someday I'll wish upon a star. G, wake up where the clouds, here comes A minor, are far behind. Now F, behind me. To the C again, where trouble melts like lemon drops. G, high above the chimney tops. A minor, that's where. Now F, you'll find me. Oh, somewhere. E minor, over the rainbow. F, bluebird. C, fly. F, and the C, dreams that you dare to. Here comes G. Oh, why can't A minor? Now F, F, and here's where the song begins to change. Will I see seas of, now it's faster, E minor. Now F, F, roses, C, F, I'll watch them see, for here comes E7, E7 and A minor, and I F to myself, now G, what a wonderful A minor, and F. I see skies, I see seas of E minor, I see F, clouds of C. Here comes F, and the F of C. Here Here comes the E7. I like the A minor, and I F to myself. Now comes G. What a wonderful world. We're gonna go C to F. Now F. Now back to C. Okay, here's the next part. G. The G of the rainbow. Here comes C. So pretty in the sky. Back to G. This is maybe the easiest part. G. Also on the faces. Back to C. Of people passing by. I see F. Shaking C. Do that again. F. How do you see? Now F. They're really saying. Now here's your D minor, and if you wanted that 7, D minor. I love now just D. That shouldn't be a D. I think that's a really weird chord there. I would play a G is what I would play there. Actually, you know what I think someone did? The G chord is called a D shape on a guitar. I think someone else wrote this in and made the same mistake that I keep making, which is writing the guitar chord instead of the U chord. Okay. We'll pause this song there. How'd that feel? Challenging-ish, maybe? But not super hard is what I'm hoping for.
Oh, great fun. Wonderful fun.
So fun.
This is a great song. This is a great song. Bye, Kathleen. So...
We can feel the rhythm on this and really make it happen. Bring it up to speed. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It'll take some work, but maybe we'll keep working on the song the next few weeks.
Dad,
Yes.
what a wonderful world was our mother-son
You're right.
dance at your wedding.
That's what we danced to.
I thought you'd all like to know that.
Does anybody is anybody available Sunday at 3 to practice at my house?
Okay.
No?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, Ray. Anybody else?
I just gave you a link to the Brother Is version in YouTube.
Judy and Ray. Elisa, are you free?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So we've got Judy, Ray, Elisa. I'll put it out there if it happens, Patty or Denise or if anybody else can make it. I'll put it out in an email.
We just need little fingerless uke gloves. that can be our first branded item for the uke group.
Oh, cute.
We need to teach your mom to knit so she can crank those out.
Well, I'll tell you the other option, and maybe Dr. Slavin has more thoughts on this, but the way we've been doing it at our house when we have folks over is we bought a whole bunch of those COVID rapid tests, and we have everyone take a rapid test when they arrive.
Interesting. Well, I would say, please, nobody that isn't vaccinated or double vaccinated, or at least properly vaccinated, at least had their first shot.
Okay. Let's try Build Me Up Buttercup. What do you say?
I love this song.
I think does that block too much? That definitely blocks too much.
Can you put that in the link again? Because I like pulling it up.
Yeah, I'll just drop this in the link. Exactly. Okay, so this one, again in the key of C, but we've got that E7, so another good one to practice. So I would play this with a sloppy down, down, up, down, up is how I would call it. A jazzy, swung, boozy. Sometimes those are all the words that you'll hear to describe this kind of feel. I've mentioned before I have a little drum machine that has a knob that's called the boozy knob. And the higher up you turn the boozy knob, the less exactly on the rhythm it gets. So let's go ahead and try this. So C. let me turn on original sound for you. There you go. Why do you see me up? E7, E7, baby, just to F me down. And G me around, and then C of all. You E7, baby, when you F you will. But I G you still, I need C. Now here comes C7. Remember, you're just going to play the index finger on the first fret. More than C7, baby, you F that I have from the start. I would just ignore the F minor. So C me up, G cup, don't break my F. Now we're going to do that thing. C. Right, that sort of G, 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 C. I'll be... Amy, I'm muting you. I'll be C at G. You told me B flat and F. This one's kind of fast. Let's try that line again. I'll be C and G and B flat and F. C, G, and B flat and F. And keep going, but you're C. I'll wait a F again. Hey, 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 C to the G. I can't B flat any F, and it's not C. You let me F again. And then this is a fast part, but you can also just play no chords and go, hey, 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 and play the last chord. That's a nice way to do it. If F, C, D minor is too fast for you, then just go, hey, hey, D minor, baby, baby, I try to find, hey, hey, and just play that last chord again, E minor, a little time, and I'll make you mine, F be home, I'll be D7 the phone. D7's a chord we haven't played much, but if you play your D and lift up your middle finger, that's a D7. Waiting for G. Ooh, oh. Why do you see me up? E7 cup, baby, just to F me down. And G me around, and then C of all. You E7 call, baby, when you F you will. But I G you still, I need C. More than C7, darling. You know that F has from the start. And don't worry about playing that F minor. So C me up, G cup, don't break my heart, and end on that C. Okay, so this is your homework for this week. Play those Hashki Venus through those chords as your warm-ups. Strongly recommend them as a warm-up because they will get you there in terms of just getting your fingers into the right places and refreshing all of these newer chords, because we have all sorts of newer chords here. And then I would go ahead and play these two songs, Over the Rainbow and Buttercup. So let me... I don't know how to email the whole class list, but Alana does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send an email to Alana with the links to all of these things for you and ask her to send it to the whole class list.
I have one question.
Yeah.
What do you, instead of the F minor, do you stay on F or do you just play nothing, or what do you do there if you're not playing F minor?
You know, I would just not play anything if I were you. But Linda, you're probably ready for an F minor actually if you want to. An F minor.
Yeah, I was sort of wondering theoretically, like when you come up against a chord like that, do you just like literally not play? You know what I mean? You just skip the moment, or
skip it. If you're playing around like us, just skip it.
It doesn't look like it's too hard.
your voice there and just go.
Yeah, that's what I'm sort of.
Exactly.
You know, you feel like you need something.
This is an F minor.
Yeah, it's not too hard, really. It's not as hard as B flat.
Very few things are as hard as B flat.
That's true.
Can I make a PSA before we end?
Please.